to Soul Session, where we celebrate and explore the depths of our being for guidance and direction. My name is Sunshine Daye, and today our topic is how to cope with the death of a loved one. Take a moment right now in the chat to type the name of someone you've recently lost to death, and I will keep you in my prayers. At the time of this recording, I would like to add my dad, Anthony Silva, and my friends Peggy Moore and Hope Wood to the list of those who've recently made their transition. So take a breath with me. In the middle of grief, I am catapulted into the depths of my being, and what I am exploring and discovering is not only solace, but also resilience and healing. A couple of the things that I want to share with you today is how to deal with, how to cope with the death of a loved one. And the first thing that I want to talk about is acknowledging the pain. Too many times people stuff their feelings, and the pain is piercing. This piercing pain of loss can sometimes be overwhelming, and people fear losing control. Acknowledging the pain is going to be key and is going to be important. We have to acknowledge the pain and honor the pain. Well, we don't have to. We get to if we choose to. One of the ways to move through this is simply acknowledging that pain, and that's one of the steps of finding that solace, that comfort, um, finding that resilience, and getting to the other side of that. By acknowledging it, for me, what it's done is it gives me this opportunity to fully experience the depths of my emotions and how deep my emotions are. Because what I've come to discover is that suppressing or denying my sorrow or my grief only prolongs the healing process. Instead, we got to give ourselves permission, or we get to give ourselves permission to mourn, to wail, the gnashing of the teeth, the weeping, the crying. We get to cry for what's been lost, the relationship, and for whom we've lost to death. There's a lot of coping mechanisms, and some coping mechanisms and some behaviors like excessive drug use or alcohol use or gambling or those addictive patterns like getting lost in social media and gaming, or ultimately they ultimately prolong the opportunity to really be with what is, and it prolongs the healing process. And when you discover that your coping mechanisms are harmful, it's important to seek healthier alternatives for processing your emotions and for processing the grief and the loss. Instead of numbing the pain with distractions, it's important to turn to supportive communities, to counseling, to creative outlets like music and art or writing. It's by facing our grief with courage and compassion that we create space for true healing and transformation to take place. The other thing is cultivating presence. Finding moments of stillness and silence can be quite healing, and it is indeed some profound healing. Two practices that I've been engaging in lately is a mindfulness, specifically around grief. And with my mindfulness practice, especially because it gets so easy to be mindless, being mindful is being present and sometimes giving a blow by blow description of what I'm doing, especially when operating heavy machinery, driving, being at work, or being with people. uh, giving yourself that opportunity to be mindful, mindful eating, it brings you to at that present moment. Like, here's what I'm doing. And sometimes I get to describe what I'm doing. I'm stopping at this stop sign right here. I'm taking my foot off the brake. I'm putting it on the gas. I'm moving forward. I've looked both ways, and just really being mindful of the moment by moment that I am living in. The other one, of course, is the other M, the meditation. And it's by creating space, and being in the stillness and in the silence and recognizing the one power, one presence, one life that has created everything out of itself. Therefore, all life is the unique, unrepeatable way that everything shows up. I'm the unique, unrepeatable way that life shows up. The life of my loved one was the unique, unrepeatable way, right? And when I allow myself to simply meditate on the eternality of life, I not only get an opportunity to know that I'm forever connected, and I discover this deep, deep sense of strength and resilience within me, but I also get an opportunity to recognize that I am in the body myself, and that I'm having this experience, and that this experience is indeed sacred. And speaking of the sacred, lots of traditions and cultures have sacred practices on how to honor the life of loved ones who have died, whether it's lighting a candle, or putting together prayer circles, or doing the rosaries, or performing sacred rites. Engaging in something like this for yourself or in community also helps in your resilience and in your strength, knowing that you're not alone in your grief. This act of honoring what is sacred, the sacred life of the loved one, we affirm those enduring bonds, and we get an opportunity to know that love transcends even the boundaries of life and death. I trust that this has been helpful for you. And before you go, please take a moment to share your thoughts on today's topic. Remember that in the midst of grief, we can find profound healing and transformation by acknowledging our pain, by cultivating presence, by honoring the sacred, by engaging in spiritual practices like mindfulness and meditation. Together, we journey towards our own wholeness and our peace. And as always, if you would like additional support with your grief or on this topic, or if you'd like to have a session with me, make contact with me via my website, vidaslc.org, or send me a confidential email, vida@vidaslc.org. And as always, thank you so much for joining me on today's soul session. And until the next time, may you live your best life being present. Bye for now.
Thanks for joining us for Soul Session from Vida Spiritual Learning Center. If you found this meaningful, let us know. Please leave a comment, question, or suggestion below. For more information, you can visit our website at vidaslc.org, where you can also make a tax-deductible contribution to support our free programming. Remember to like, share, and subscribe so you can be notified of future programs. And thanks. We'll see you next time for Soul Session.